Welcome to another chapter of the most sensational news of the moment. Today we are going to talk about a media scandal involving Donald Trump's CBS and an interview with Kamala Harris that has unleashed a legal and political firestorm. What happened to that famous 60 Minutes interview? Was the content really manipulated to benefit Harris? And how does all this connect to the $10 billion lawsuit filed by Trump against CBS? Stay with us to find out all the details, because this case has many ramifications. On October 6, 2024, Vice President Kamala Harris was interviewed by correspondent Bill Whitaker for CBS flagship show, 60 Minutes. This interview was considered crucial in the midst of the election campaign, as it served as one of the last opportunities to show Harris answering direct questions about the key issues of her political career. However, it was a series of clips shown on two different shows on Face the Nation on October 6 and on 60 Minutes the following day that attracted media attention. In both shows, Harris gave completely different answers to the same question, which immediately raised suspicions that something was not right. According to CBS, both versions of the interview were edited to fit time constraints. But to many, the editing seemed strategic. In his lawsuit, Trump argued that the editing was deliberately misleading and that the answers were presented in a way that favored Harris, which was not a true representation of what she had actually said. On November 1, 2024, Trump filed a $10 billion lawsuit against CBS, accusing the network of having carried out manipulative editing in the interview with Kamala Harris. According to the lawsuit, the way Harris's answers were edited was an attempt to interfere with the election in favor of the Democrats, something that Trump called illegal partisan actions. In the lawsuit, Trump is not only seeking exorbitant financial compensation, but he is also challenging the credibility and professional ethics of CBS, a media giant. The allegation is very serious, as it suggests that an influential media outlet in the United States may have played an active role in favoring a candidate in the context of the presidential election. These types of allegations, if true, would call into question the entire integrity of journalism and the media. This is where the story takes an even more interesting turn. Brendan Carr, who was appointed chairman of the FCC by Trump, has played a pivotal role in this matter. Rather than leaving it to the courts, the FCC has pressured CBS to hand over the unedited transcripts of the interview, as well as the original recordings of it. In an unexpected move, CBS agreed to hand over the material to the FCC, demonstrating the seriousness of the ongoing investigation. Until now, 60 Minutes had always resisted handing over its transcripts to prevent the editing process from being second-guessed or publicly criticized. This precedent could open the door for other high-profile interviews to be subjected to closer scrutiny by the authorities. If CBS has to hand over the recordings, this could completely change the way media outlets handle political interviews. The case is taking on a very complex dimension, not only in legal terms, but also in terms of press freedom. Journalists and free speech advocates are closely watching this process. Talks about a possible deal between CBS and Trump are in full swing, and everyone is asking, how would this deal affect the media in general? If CBS is forced to give in this case, what happens to the editorial autonomy of the media? Are we witnessing an attack on press freedom under the Trump administration? Despite political pressure and accusations of manipulation, CBS has defended its position, saying that the lawsuit is without merit and that they will firmly fight the lawsuit. The television network's lawyer called the lawsuit completely without merit, and has promised to respond aggressively in court. But in the media, the issue is not so simple. If CBS gives in to legal pressure and hands over the material, it could be a step towards stricter media regulation that could affect other networks and journalists in the future. We cannot ignore the political context behind this conflict. Trump, who refused to be interviewed by 60 Minutes during his presidential campaign, now has a golden opportunity to question the media and its role in covering the election. In many ways, this lawsuit could be interpreted as an attempt to control the narrative and challenge the impartiality of the media. For Trump, the media has never been an ally. Since the beginning of his campaign, he has maintained a very critical stance towards traditional journalism, accusing many of doing irreparable damage to it. In addition, CBS is not alone in this type of lawsuit. In the past, ABC News paid $15 million in a settlement for a defamation lawsuit filed by Trump, and Meta paid $25 million to resolve the case related to the suspension of its accounts. This tells us that Trump is not afraid to use the courts as a way to damage the reputation of the media and make them pay for what he perceives as unfair treatment. This case is not just about an edited interview or a simple defamation suit. Trump's lawsuit against CBS is putting fundamental principles about press freedom and media responsibility at stake during election time. The FCC and the Commission's own chairman, Brendan Carr, have a great influence on the resolution of this case, which could open a legal precedent *** on how the media treats political content and interviews. What do you think about all this? Do you think CBS should hand over the unedited recordings? Or is this a dangerous move for media independence? Leave us your comment and don't forget to like the video if you found it interesting. See you in the next episode.